and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and we are back at it again with the top 10 Las Vegas Urban Legends Part 2. Now you guys love Part 1 so much, we had loads of views, loads of comments, so we have indeed made a Part 2 for you. This is fun for me because I've actually been to Vegas and I had a pretty raucous time. It just does something to people. I don't know. I got kind of crazy. Anyway, before we get into this video, I just want to let you know that you should stick around to the end where I'm going to be reading out some comments from Part 1. Also, while you're watching this video, if you want to leave me a comment, let me know where you're from, let me know if you've ever been to Vegas. I always love reading them. Also, please do leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend, and head on over to our Instagram at MostAmazingOfficial to see what we're up to behind the scenes. Coming in at number 10, we have the Kidney Thieves. This is a classic urban legend. This old chestnut isn't specific to just Vegas, although it does seem like the perfect place for it to happen. The Vegas arm of this legend became pretty popular from the early 90s and continues to this day. The story goes that a tourist will go out for a night on the Strip. I can confirm that this is the done thing. Vegas has so many drinks deals, it's hard not to get rip-roaringly drunk and lose all of your friends. In this legend, a tourist gets their drinks spiked, loses their friends, wakes up in a hotel bath full of ice with one of their kidneys removed. There's a phone next to the bath and a note that says call 911 or you'll die. That's right, organ trafficking ahoy. Whether or not this has actually ever taken place in Vegas is irrelevant. This story is widely circulated in Nevada and beyond. Coming in at number 9, we have the fake Roy. This one is pretty weird. So Siegfried and Roy were beloved German performers who emigrated to the United States. The pair made their name with a tiger show in Las Vegas in the 1980s. They were on and off the Strip for 20 years, notably performing stints at the New Frontier Hotel and Casino at the Mirage. Sadly, in 2003, Roy Horn was savaged by a 7-year-old tiger and he was rushed to hospital. He survived, but the show closed, never to reopen again in Vegas. Anyway, it seems like a strange urban legend was circulating that actually Roy had already been dead years before the attack and was replaced by a new actor. The story goes that he was actually killed by a tiger in training, but Siegfried, the marketing team, and the Vegas powers that be didn't want the show to be over as it would mean losing them a lot of money. So instead of closing, they found someone else to be Roy. They couldn't sweep the 2003 attack under the carpet as it happened on stage in full view of the public. Coming into number 8, we have Hunting for Bambi. In the past, Las Vegas hasn't necessarily been a great place for supporting women. Historically, although not exclusively, Vegas has been a place for all vices, which includes businessmen or otherwise searching to indulge in women, be it scantily clad on stage or prostitutes. Honestly, a bit gross in my opinion, but it definitely happens, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or so they say. Anyway, there's a legend out there that big companies would offer hunting for Bambi trips where men would go out with paintballs and hunt half-naked women and then capture them for their own uses. Now this turned out to be a hoax, but it was widely circulated. Coming into number 7, we have the haunted Tiki mask. We heard all about the cursed Luxor Hotel in Part 1, which seemed to have attracted some Egyptian bad juju, but in this list we have the haunted Tiki mask of the Tropicana Hotel. The hotel has a Polynesian vibe about it, and on the way in, it's lucky to touch the god of money carving before entering the casino. However, you must never touch the Tiki mask. The mask is a hand-carved traditional Tiki mask, but the rumors say that it's haunted. Very haunted. A lot of tourists have had their picture next to it, but apparently when touching it, or even touching something that's touched it, it could lead you to developing a worrying purple rash. Some have even said that a purple mist distorts the mask in photos taken of it. Coming into number 6, we have Liberace's Ghost. Okay, ghosts are scary and everything, so I guess this is why I've put this on this list, but honestly, I have to say Liberace is my saspiration. I love the way he used to dress. Honestly, what an icon. Liberace loved Las Vegas. He owned a restaurant there, and there used to be a museum of the flamboyant pianist. It is said that Liberace haunts a number of spots in Vegas. Tivoli Gardens, his former home, and when the museum was action, there as well. Honestly, good on him. I hope he haunts in floral and gold and continues to be an absolute queen. Next up, we have more famous ghosts. We've got TUPAC'S ghosts. In 1996, Tupac Shakur was gunned down in Vegas between the Flamingo and Koval. He was in a car driven by Suge Knight, and the assassination came as the men stopped at a red light. Now Tupac's killer is still still unknown to this day, and it has gone down as one of the most dramatic moments in modern music history. Paranormalists often say that ghosts are created in dramatic circumstances, and dramatic circumstances were certainly present on that night in 1996. A lot of people say that they think Tupac haunts the intersection. Some even swear to have seen him standing there looking over the road, but then again, some people think he's still alive, so. Ooh, okay, I went to this place and I have to say it was pretty rundown and creepy. Next up, we have Whiskey Pete's. So Whiskey Pete's is an old resort on the outskirts of Vegas named after a gas station owner whose body was accidentally dug up when they built the resort. Now, all I know from these lists is that you absolutely don't want to disturb the dead. Also in that resort is the bullet-ridden car that Bonnie and Clyde were killed in. Right. Anyway, the 1970s casino is said to be haunted by good old Whiskey Pete himself. Some also even say that the haunting screams of Bonnie and Clyde can be heard on occasion coming from the car wreck. All in all, it's a really weird place. I stopped for gas there on my way to LA. I had a sub. It was all really strange. Next up, we have the haunted Titanic exhibition. Why there is a Titanic artifact exhibition in the middle of the desert thousands of miles away from where the ship sank? We don't know. We don't ask questions. If you can eat fresh seafood in Vegas, then I guess anything is possible, right? So we talked about the Luxor Hotel in part 1 and how it may have befallen an Egyptian curse of some kind, akin to the curse of the pharaohs. Not good. It seems that the hotel may also be haunted by a few of the Titanic's victims for good measure. It seems that on the Grand Staircase exhibition, a lady wearing a black period dress with a white collar has been constantly spotted, as has a sailor on a reconstruction of the promenade deck. Staff and visitors alike have felt hands push and shove them as they walk the exhibition, which honestly is really strange. Coming into number 2, we have Bonnie Springs Ranch. The ghost town of Bonnie Springs is in Red Rock Canyon, just outside of Las Vegas, and it has been featured on the TV show Ghost Adventures. The old Nevada town was very much part of the Wild West in the 1800s. Some people say that they hear children's laughter echo on the spot of the old school. Some say they've seen waxwork models of old townsfolk wink at them as they walk by. The most haunted spot in the ghost town is said to be the Opera House, which is a hotbed for paranormal activity. You can visit the town as a tourist attraction, and they absolutely love the ghostly legends. They go hell for leather in October for Halloween activities, decking out the whole town in ye olde spooks. Finally, coming into number 1, we have the Stratosphere. The Stratosphere is known as the go-to place for suicides in Las Vegas, which already has the highest suicide rates in the country. Honestly, how sad is that? I suppose people go to Vegas, lose it all, and then are filled with deep regret, and I guess all of the vice and drinking doesn't help the mental state either. It's also mainly men who end their lives that way too, which is super sad. Kinda grotesquely, there are ghost tours that will take you in and around the death spots in the city and point them out. Now this also includes the Stratosphere Tower. This has led a lot of people to imagine that they can see people jumping when they look at the building. Is it haunted, or are imaginations simply running wild? So guys, that was the top 10 scary Las Vegas urban legends. What did you think to this? Was it scarier than part 1? I think it might have been. Do let me know what you thought to this in the comment section down below, and also don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Before we get out of this video, I just want to read what you had to say about part 1. Sasume said, living in Vegas since I was born, 18 years, 19 in 2 days, August 20th. Ooh, happy previous birthday. The only legend story I've heard of was the rotting corpse one, that's it. My mum worked at Circus, and I've never been told about that urban legend. It was interesting to hear about the MGM one though, as I didn't know about that one that had burned down, and there's a new one here I've passed a couple of times. I would love to hear more Vegas urban legends. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. How are you enjoying being 19? You saw me at Walmart said, wait, you were that one drunk girl screaming in Las Vegas? That was me, but I wasn't the one drunk girl. There were loads of drunk girls, of which I was just one. Hallie Mitch said, when I was 10 years old, I went to Circus and heard taps everywhere. I was too freaked out to investigate further. This video has creeped me out. JD Nation said, oh my god, when she said Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I was immediately stopping what I was doing, and I just laughed so hard because I love that scene. I love Johnny Depp, so I was like, wah. Good, I like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas as well, honestly. I wanted to go and see the carousel, but they don't spin it anymore, which I think is like really sad because I wanted to recreate it. Maybe too many people recreate it and that's why they stopped spinning it. Makes so much sense. Also, I love our previous part 1. I miss Summer me. Come on, Summer. You're coming. So once again guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay tuned for more most amazing lists. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and I'll see you next time. you.